and good afternoon. It is Friday. Today we're going to be talking about anti-aging. And if there's one thing that I fear the most, and I know we're not supposed to be afraid of anything, but if there's one thing that I fear the most, it is aging. All right. Part of that is because chronic diseases start at a certain age. I mean, it can start at any time, but as you get older, you become more prone to chronic diseases and you become more prone to dementia. And so I've been over the last 3 years, really been investigating anti-aging medicine, anti-aging practices, and you've heard me talk about that on this program before. However, there's some new research that was it was new to me. So it's new to me. It's probably new to you too. So I used to tell people that if once you turn 50, there's a huge shift in the way your body responds. And then once you turned 70, there was a huge shift in the way your body responds. And so we know that if we get you over 50, there's just a lot of cleanup on aisle 7. I mean, there just is. If we get you over 70, then your immune system is pretty compromised by that time because of the food we eat, the environment that we live in, and that kind of thing. And so if I can't get you turned around in 24 to 48 hours, and you need to seek medical assistance just because of your age, which I hate to say that, but that's just what we're finding with our older population. But this new research says that the shifts start even earlier. And so because of that, the earlier that we start addressing this, the easier it's going to be and the more long-lasting change we can affect. So if you come in to see me over 50, there's quite a lot that we can do. Even if you come in over 70, there's a lot that we can do. However, if you start to come in and take care of yourself in your 30s and 40s, we have way more areas to leverage so that you could go into older age without having the problems that most older people have. So human aging is not quite the gradual process that we once believed. Research has now found that there are 2 critical points of aging in your life, and they come around age 44 and age 60. So that's quite a bit earlier than what I'm seeing here in my practice. However, if you modify your diet and you modify your lifestyle, there are things that you can do. So this study was published in August 2024, a study in Nature Aging, collected over 5,000 blood, stool, skin swabs, and oral health samples from 108 U.S. volunteers aged from 25 to 75 from different ethnic backgrounds. From the samples, researchers obtained over 135,000 data points. So that's a lot. This generated even more information of 250 billion data points. All right, that's a lot of raw material to work with. The analysis found that the biomolecular markers relating to ages exhibited non-linear changes, all right, and profound changes occurred among aging between the years of 44, at the years of 44 and 60. We're not just changing gradually over time. There are some really big dramatic changes, said senior study author Michael Snyder, a genetics professor at Stanford University. He says in his statement, it turns out that the mid-40s are a time of dramatic change, as are the early 60s. And that is true no matter what data we're looking at. So this is really important. So, does that mean that if you haven't started taking care of yourself and you're over 60, are you going to have a problem? You might, okay? However, in my worldview, because I believe God is a good God and I believe He made our bodies to correct themselves and heal themselves and restore themselves, if you start at any age, you're going to have some progress. But it seems like from this report, the earlier that we start, the better responses that we're going to heal. Many studies have focused on exploring how the different molecules increase or decrease with age and how biological age can differ from chronological age. Few have focused on the rate of physiological aging. Snyder points out that it may be unsurprising that so many dramatic changes occur after the 60s, because this is when a number of high-risk age-related diseases and visible aging phenomenon happens. So we know that that is true. We know the older we get, the older we look, which is not necessarily such a great thing. But we talked about, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the HRV, heart rate variability monitor, and we talked about how it can measure your chronological age, that's how many birthdays you have, and then your cellular age. Okay, your cellular age can be much, much less. As I showed you with mine, my biological age is about half of my chronological age. Now, why is that? That is because I take anti-aging supplements, and the heart rate variability shows that it works. And so this is really, really important. So the author, Shin Zayato, I don't know if I said that right, former postdoctoral researcher at the Stanford University School of Medicine. He's now the assistant professor at Nanyang Technical University in Singapore, said in the press release that while menopause and perimenopause may contribute to the change observed in women in their 40s, other more critical factors affect both men and women are likely at play. The study found that people in their 40s experience significant changes in the number of alcohol-related, caffeine-related, and lipid metabolism, which is related to cardiovascular disease, skin disease, and muscle wasting. Those in their 60s also experience changes in molecules involving cardiovascular disease, skin and muscle tissue, as well as carbohydrate and caffeine metabolism, immune regulation, and kidney function. Now, fun fact, I love coffee. I've told you guys I love coffee, but because I know what it does to me, I limit myself to a cup in the morning, maybe a cup and a half. Used to drink coffee all the time. And then I found out what it did to you, dehydration and that kind of thing. But one of the things that I like to do is I like to have a cup of coffee with dessert after dinner. Well, up until I was about 50, I was able to do that. But I noticed that once I turned 50, the caffeine and the coffee kept me up at night. And so now I'm not able to enjoy that because I don't want to be up all night. And so this study says that after you get 60, you have difficulty metabolizing caffeine. And so that's kind of an interesting side note that I experienced myself. Snyder pointed out that these changes may not be driven purely by biological factors, but they're also related to lifestyle or behavioral factors in these groups. For example, alcohol metabolism dysfunction may result from increased alcohol consumption in people in their 40s, as this period is often a very stressful period in their lives. So scientists also divided human beings into ageotypes. Another study from Stanford University, Snyder's team tracked the levels of protein, metabolites, and lipids in the bodies of 42 healthy men and women aged 38 to 68 for 2 years. Now, the team found out that the people typically age along several biological pathways, including metabolism, immunity, liver function, and kidney function. People who experience metabolic aging may be more susceptible to diabetes. As they age, they show signs of increased blood sugar dysfunction. They're not able to, handle their glucose and that kind of thing. And on the other hand, those with an immune type of aging may develop higher levels of inflammatory markers and be more susceptible to immune-related diseases. All right, so these types are not aging mutually exclusively. People with metabolic aging can also have characteristics of immune aging. So I don't know about you, but that does not make me happy. I do not want to have metabolic aging, and I do not want to have immune aging. So what can we do? Well, there's a lot of things that I do already, and I'm going to teach you some things that you can do, but the research continues to show that the rate of aging can be changed. Snyder said in a statement that concerned markers of aging decrease when some people change their diet or lose weight. Also, different people age at different rates, as evidenced by some aging more slowly than average throughout the study period. So, what can you do to help yourself with this aging thing? So, one of the most important nutrients to help us with aging is protein. In particular, plant-based protein can reduce the risk of chronic disease and help extend life. Now, why is that? Is that because animal protein is not good? No, animal protein is good. I'm a carnivore, I tell you that, and I love my steak, and I do eat plant protein, but my particular body loves animal-based protein. However, for people that don't do plants, all right, we normally see that they do a lot of processed food, they do a lot of packaged foods, and so when they do that, they're getting a lot of environmental toxins in their food, which causes them to age more rapidly. So protein is key for maintaining the health of your body. In a study that analyzed data from 49,000 participants in the United States, it was a nurses' health study, they found that women who ate more protein, especially plant-based, in midlife had a higher rate of health in their older age. Women who consumed more plant-based protein also had a lower rate of 11 chronic diseases as they aged, as well as better mental health, cognitive function, and physical function. So a plant-based diet certainly has a place in a healthy diet. And so when you eat your raw vegetables, when you steam your vegetables, we're not talking about frying these, okay? That's not necessarily the healthiest way to have them because you can fry out all of your nutrients. But when you eat these plant-based proteins, then you're going to have better long-term health as you get older. Eating foods with added sugars accelerates aging. In a 2024 study, it found that consuming foods with added sugar was associated with accelerated physiological aging, even when eating a healthy diet. So stop the sugar, all right? Barbara Laria, I think that's how you say that, who is a co-author of the study and a professor at the University of California, Berkeley, said in a statement that those who consistently reduce their intake of added sugar by 10 grams a day achieves the equivalent of setting back the biological clock by 2.4 months. So how much is 10 grams? Well, 10 grams is 0.4 ounces. All right, so you don't have to reduce significantly. Well, it depends on how much you take, right? Me, I hardly have any processed foods. The sugar that I have occurs naturally in fruits and vegetables, all right? There's very, very few times that I have anything that has added sugar in it. But when you reduce that consumption by just 4 grams, you're able to reduce your biological aging for 2.4 months. So do the calculations on that and see how that hits you. So you want to supplement with goji berry. Now, goji berry, or Lycium barbatum, is also known as wolfberry, and it is precious in traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, also known as the longevity fruit. Why is that? Because it helps you age better. And so you want to increase your consumption of the goji berries. Traditional Chinese medicine states that goji berries also nourish the kidney and the liver and improve your vision. Goji berries are rich in bioflavonoids, right? And they contain a lot of polysaccharides. So these studies show that those particular nutrients have anti-tumor activity, neuroprotective effects, antioxidant, and immunomodulatory functions. This is important. Now, we always are talking to you about antioxidants. Antioxidants help us with the oxidative stress. So these are things that you can add to your diet to help you age less fast and in some cases can reverse the aging process. Now, this is something that all of us can do better on, and that is getting regular sleep. Developing a sleep routine can help extend your life. Studies have shown that people who sleep regularly have a 20% to 48% lower risk of all causes of death, a 16% to 39% lower risk of cancer death, and a 22% to 57% lower risk of cardiometabolic related death than those who do not get regular sleep. Now, what they're talking about here is regular 8 hours. You go to bed at a certain time, you get up at a certain time, you don't skip sleep, okay? You don't stay up all night and then try and catch up when you sleep halfway through the morning, okay? That doesn't work. Your body is designed to repair itself between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. And so if you are regularly staying up past 10 p.m., you are eating away at your reserves and your repair, and you're not going to have a good life as you get older. So just throwing that out there. I know people don't like it. People don't, especially when I have teenagers come in and they stay up till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning because I think it's a really cool thing to do. They don't realize that they're shortchanging themselves in their health benefit as they get older. Number 5 on the list is we need to exercise regularly. Exercise activates both the body and the brain. It promotes blood circulation and transports more oxygen and blood to the brain, nourishing the brain cells. Research has shown that aerobic exercise can improve the episodic memory of people aged 55 and older, allowing them to recall events much more vividly. Dr. Scott McGinnis, who is an assistant professor at the Harvard Medical School, recommends exercising for 150 minutes moderate exercise per week. Now, this is 21 minutes per day, and almost all of us can find 21 minutes per day. He says just walking is a great way for seniors to stay active. In a Harvard article, he suggests that you start with a few minutes and you work up by adding 5 to 10 minutes weekly until you get your goal. Now, this is really important because when we get older, we are more prone to kidney and liver diseases. And so we're going to speak a little bit about that because new research shows that nearly half of all U.S. adults, half of us, so that's 1 in 2, could suffer from chronic liver disease by 2050, according to new research that projects a massive surge in cases requiring transplants and specialized care. The study predicts that metabolic dysfunction associated with cirrhotic liver disease, now they abbreviate that as MASLD, will affect 121.9 million adults, which is about 41% of the U.S. population. A new study that was published in JAMA, Network Open on this year, January the 17th, projected that by 2050, the number of adults suffering from liver disease, formerly known as non-alcoholic liver disease, it's fatty liver, could increase from 86.3 million who had it in 2020 to 121.9 million, and this accounts for 41.4% of the population. That's a lot, That's a lot. Research have used a micro-simulation model to simulate health outcomes with people over the population over time, analyzing this fatty liver disease among the 2.8 million individuals. And while the study wasn't determined or designed to determine the cause of fatty liver disease, they saw that the liver disease was strongly linked with obesity and diabetes, two serious health concerns that are on the rise. So what do we want to do with that, right? Well, on my desk, we have this age-lock meta. Age-lock meta has been clinically proven to help with fatty liver disease. It also helps with kidney function. It also helps with sugar metabolism. So if those are some issues that you are dealing with, all right, as we get older, I mean, it's almost a joke. You're young, you're thin, you keep yourself, healthy, and then as you have babies and you move forward, you just kind of let yourself go, right? That's not healthy. And so that's why we're seeing a prevalence of these diseases: cardiovascular disease, obesity, liver disease, kidney disease, and cancer as people get older, because they're not doing what they did when they were younger. So I'll tell you a funny story. When I was young, all the women around me were heavy, and they all had children. So in my little girl mind, I, put 2 and 2 together and got 8, that when you have babies, you're going to be fat, okay? And you're going to have a weight issue. Well, I got married. I moved to Scotland. And there were lots of women in Scotland that had babies that were not overweight. And it was like to me, that having babies doesn't make you gain weight. So I don't really know what the issue is here in the United States. I do know that our food supply is pretty poor, and I'm really hoping that the new person in charge of our health is going to help clean that up. But one of the things that we need to do is we need to take ownership of our temple, and we need to know that if we are overweight, if we are obese, we have a much higher incidence of getting those chronic diseases: diabetes, cardiovascular disease, mental breakdown, cognitive decline, and cancer. I don't want that. So Meta is something, and I've showed you this before, and this is one of my favorite supplements, because guess what? It's purple, and purple is my favorite color, okay? But I want you to make a connection here. ageLOC. It says ageLOC Meta. Now, ageLOC is a brand. It is a Pharmanex product, but ageLOC is a brand. Now, why did they brand it ageLOC? Well, they branded it ageLOC because this particular family of products are all targeting gene expression. Now, what does that mean? That means they have done 30 years of research to find out which nutrients will go into the body and cause that biological age to reverse, so that your genes express themselves at a much younger age. So if you have the mindset, like my dear sweet mother, that after 50 it's patch, you're just going to, get old and get decrepit and that kind of thing. That's not my mindset. My mindset is search out the products that have a proven history, something that you can track, and something that is clinically proven to reverse the aging process. Because, as I said earlier, that's the one thing that scares me the most about getting older. And I'm way closer to 70 than I would like to believe, because I don't feel that I'm that old. However, because I do the anti-aging products, I am reversing the age through gene expression. So this is one of the things. I'm going to put a link, maybe not a link, but I'm going to give you some information in the comments about Dr. Chang. All right, Dr. Chang is the top scientist for the Pharmanex brand of products. And so I'm going to link a video that shows 2 biologically identical mice, one of them who was on anti-aging supplements and one of them that was not. They have the equivalent of, they would be the equivalent of an adult being 96 years old. So if I can act like that mouse that has the anti-aging supplement, if I can act like him when I'm 96, I'm going to be a happy girl. So I'm going to put that in the comment. If I forget, it's a busy day. If I forget, then remind me, because I want to do that. It's about 30 seconds. It's not long at all. But I do want you, if you're interested on reversing aging, I do want you to go to YouTube and look up Dr. Joe Chang with Pharmanex. It may say New Skin. And he is the top scientific officer for this company, and he is interesting to listen to, and it gives you all the scientific validation that we all need, okay? So think about what happens to your brain and memory as you age, or your energy levels, physical performance, heart health, joint health. The list goes on and on. And we do know that as we get older, we're not able to do those things that our 20-year-old self could do, okay? So the innovative research at Firmenich focuses on studying the mechanisms of anti-aging intervention and how certain nutrients are able to provide benefits of turning back the clock. So the product I want to talk to you about is this one, and it's ageLOC 2. It's called ageLOC Youth. Now, some people think that because it says youth on there, it is for teenagers, and teenagers can certainly benefit from it. But what it does is it targets the gene expression of aging. And so no matter how old we are, if we start taking that product, then we're going to be able to see the benefits of that, the way our body ages, not necessarily chronologically, all right, but at the level of the age, okay? So ageLOC Youth is one of the most advanced anti-aging supplements. In a study published in Nutrients in 2020, it highlights the innovative gene expression findings of multiple tissues. ageLOC Youth is a supplement that promotes the body's natural ability to fight aging. Each ingredient, most of which are not from foods typically found in everyday diets, were carefully selected for their unique health benefits and the ability to positively impact age expression. So what does that mean? That means if you look at a map of the world, every single continent has ingredients, nutrients, that when you put them together, it's going to stop the aging of your genes. Now, does that mean we're going to live forever? No, it doesn't mean we're going to live forever. But what it does mean is that as you continue on your journey, you're going to have the best ability to heal and to avoid those chronic diseases, because it is those chronic diseases that eventually take our lives, right? You die of heart disease, you die of kidney failure, you die of cancer, you die of diabetes. So, I mean, diabetes is a slow death. They start taking off your toes, and they take off your foot, then they take off your leg up to your knee. You start having injections in your eye. I mean, it's just a terrible, terrible disease. And if there are things that we can do to stop the aging of our genes, why wouldn't we want to do that? And so me, and I've shown you, and I don't have one on my desk, but I take the Life Pack Nanos as a multi-mineral, multivitamin supplement every day. 1 pack in the morning, 1 pack in the evening. Why is that? Because they're formulated to provide 12 hours of nutrition. You're not going to get that with your food because most of us do not have access to high quality food. I don't care who you are. If you are not growing your own food, then the food that we are buying is not at the highest nutrient density that we would need and that we would want. And so I supplement with those vitamins because they're proven to work. They're proven to be absorbed. My score changed by about, I want to say 50,000 points in 90 days, right? So it's something that we can measure. And then when you take an ageLOC product, so there is the youth that I just showed you, there's the Meta that I just showed you, but there's also ageLOC R squared. Now, ageLOC R squared is a immune builder, and it is a cellular detox. So all of these things that I've shown you today or talked to you today, I think youth is on the list. Today is the last day for the 60-day challenge. We started it in January. It was supposed to be January, February. You get a voucher in March. They extended it February and March. You get a voucher, a $30 voucher in April. And so the ageLOC R squared is on that list. The Life Pack Nanos is on that list. T-Green is on that list. Collagen is on that list. So if you need help with that, reach out. The office is going to close in a half an hour. Don't call me because I'm not going to be here. We close at 1. But if you comment on this post, I will do what I can to get you hooked up so that you can get the benefit of February. Today's the last day of February, 28th. February and March. In April, the company will give you a $30 voucher to, purchase additional products. So this is a really good deal. It's going to help you with your health challenges. And as I've told you, you're going to get all those benefits of the scientific research and the reduction in gene aging, which all of us want because we all want to grow old gracefully, right? And not have any of those diseases that are prevalent among people that are older. Now, I've told you this before that my hero is Moses. Why is that? Because he was 120 years old, up and down that mountain, not blind, not lame, not deaf, and he didn't have any cognitive issues. And so if that could have happened, whatever year that was, way before I came along, right, then with all of our scientific innovations, we should be able to do the same. And that is what this girl wants to do. I want to live long, live strong, and have my biological age be way, way younger than my chronological age. So that's a lot. If you want to get in on this deal, today is the last day. Don't call me because the office will be closed, but comment on this video or send me a direct message and I'll do my best to get you hooked up today. It's the weekend. March tomorrow, okay? March Madness is upon us, so enjoy yourself, get some rest, get some relaxation, do some restoration, and let me help you regain your health. Talk to you soon.